Thank you. We'll try to wrap this up. So much has been said. Let me try to summarize briefly. The Biden administration has an energy policy that's bad for American jobs, bad for the American economy, bad for national security, as it makes us more dependent on foreign sources of energy once again, as well as our allies, more dependent on foreign sources of energy. And it's bad for the environment and bad for the climate because, of course, those foreign sources of energy are not as clean as ours. Just to give you some specifics, natural gas produced in Russia and sent by pipeline to other parts of Europe or to Asian countries basically emits about 50% more greenhouse gas emissions than natural gas produced in the United States and shipped. So it's bad for jobs in the economy in the United States. It's bad for national security. And it's bad for the climate. Other than that, it's a hell of a good idea. I mean, so I think someone was being kind. I think it was Dan when he said that the Biden administration has a lot of smart people. I'm not sure. I'd prefer that they be ignorant than be evil. But they do need to be accountable for what's happening. And here's the really sad part in the United States. As a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago, the Energy Secretary said, in response to a question from one of your colleagues, that presidents don't set gas prices, markets do. But policy determines market reaction. Every bad policy has a negative reaction in the marketplace. Shrinking of supply while growing demand with an influx of a whole bunch of free money creates inflation. But I think the worst part about inflation, energy inflation, is that on top of all the other inflation, which comes naturally with the same market forces, energy inflation raises the price of everything. Everything that we grow, everything we produce, everything we manufacture, everything that we ship, whether we ship it in or we ship it out. We have a better plan. Senator Sullivan mentioned that we're going to be outlining some things going forward. I think it's important to have solutions to the problems, but right now the problem's obvious, and that is the deliberate policies of the Biden administration in an effort, evidently, to transfer their climate guilt to polluters. One point along those lines, Leanne, because you ask a really important question. It's easy, right now it's easy to be against everything Biden's doing because it's so awful. But if we would focus less on getting to zero in the United States, zero greenhouse gas emissions or zero, net zero by 2050, and focus more on bringing down global emissions, say 40%, and putting the pressure, whether it's through trade deals and geopolitical, pressures and carrot stick things. If we bring down global emissions 40% by 2050, it's a much greater reduction than the United States unilaterally disarming our own economy. Just one example. I think we focus more on the global problem and not so much on our unilateral disarmament.